All right, hello everyone. Welcome in. It is another episode of Green on Sports. We're glad to be back. May 7th today, May 7th. May 7th, 2025. Crazy, we're already in May. Tomorrow's my anniversary with my wife. Shout out. Olive joining us per usual. But yeah, May 7th. NBA playoffs round 2 are live right now. Some NFL action post draft has gone down. But yeah, also new logo. You can check it out on the YouTube channel and or on the new X page or Instagram page, which we will start to post more on. They were just created as well. So now there's a new Instagram and X account for the podcast, just simply called Green on Sports on both platforms. And yeah, and then the new logo is out. Something simple. Got to have the green in there as the name. But yeah, so May 7th, today, I was actually going to hop on yesterday for a podcast episode, but I had some scheduling conflicts and then had to wait till today. But I'm glad I did because today, I woke up to the news that George Pickens is getting traded. And then, of course, they had to finalize it and everything. But yeah, so George Pickens has been traded now from the Steelers to the Dallas Cowboys. Me as a Steelers fan, I hate to see any former Steeler in a Cowboys uniform just because that's how it goes as a Steelers fan. But and at first I was just super upset about losing George Pickens. But given it's a contract year and we wouldn't have had him next year, it's not like we could have played the upside and then traded him. I mean, unless we trade him halfway through the season before the deadline. But I mean, also things could have gone south and then his value could have decreased given we have DK Metcalf now. And I did say earlier on this show as well, on this podcast, as soon as we traded for DK, we as in the Steelers, I am a Steelers fan, sorry. But yeah, so as soon as the Steelers traded for DK Metcalf, I was immediately in assumption that we would trade George Pickens away. Part of it is, I'm assuming most of it is off of the field antics. So I can't be too upset. I'm not too upset. I could be, but I'm not. At first, originally, I was like, dang, I thought we had something going. But then I'm looking at the depth chart, the rest of the depth chart. We have, this comes right after we signed, I believe, Robert Woods. Robert Woods, really sure-handed individual, very capable of being a number 2 receiver. DK Metcalf, we traded for him. Obviously, very capable of being number 1 receiver. He's been the number 1 receiver in Seattle for years. And he's also now we have the deep ball guy. We have a sure hand guy in Robert Woods. Then we also have Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson, who could be very good, your shorter, twitchier guys, similar to a Julian Edelman type. So yeah, that's or even similar a Tyreek type, where Calvin Austin is very quick, very return, very short. So yeah. Yeah, and we have Mason Rudolph still at quarterback, who I believe he's played with George Pickens in Pickens' rookie season. We saw Deontay Johnson and stuff. But yeah, I think I feel as if I trust the organization, the Steelers, them believing that it was time to move on. They got a 3rd-round pick and a 5th round in the following draft for Pickens, and then also a 6th rounder in this next draft in next year, 2026. So I feel like we could have gotten more, but also Dallas, of course, was very hard to bargain with. But on the Dallas side of things, George Pickens being your number 2 to CeeDee Lamb, given they still have Dak Prescott, I mean, it's okay. George Pickens is used to playing with bad quarterbacks. or not bad quarterbacks, but I mean, that's the thing. People are like, oh, now George Pickens is with Dak, but he played with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and Mason Rudolph. And contrary to popular belief, they're all better than Dak Prescott. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But my belief for the Cowboys is I think how this is going to work out is I think the Cowboys will now they have George Pickens, they have CeeDee Lamb, they drafted the guy out of Texas for a running back. They have Jake Ferguson still at tight end, and then they also picked up Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. One of those two is probably going to be a pretty decent tandem back with the Jaden Blue kid from Texas. So all that with Dak and then a pretty good, decent O-line could be successful. But the thing is, I think Dak will – well, no, we all assume Dak's going to get injured, even if he's good to play, because he was injured at late in the end of the last season. So if he's good to play at the beginning of this next season, he probably will get injured again. I hate to say it. Dak Prescott's just a very injury-prone individual. And they traded for Joe Milton. And Joe Milton, you don't know it yet, but you will know soon. Joe Milton is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will know it soon. And the Cowboys will ride with Joe Milton because he's just about $60 million cheaper than Dak Prescott, which is way better. If you have a similar, even if they're similar, which Milton's far more mobile, has a way bigger arm, and Dak Prescott's whole thing is like his accuracy is in his intangibles. This camera's trying to focus. So yes. Dak Prescott's whole thing is like accuracy and intangibles. So yeah, Joe Milton. So if Joe Milton's playing smart, he's far superior athletically compared to Dak Prescott. So if Joe Milton just plays smart and within his means and within the weapons that he has, which are pretty loaded now, then he will take this job and run with it after the presumption that Dak Prescott gets hurt. Which, I don't want Dak Prescott to get hurt. Trust me, I actually don't want, because given my belief that Dak Prescott would not be as successful as Joe Milton would be, and then they can move off Dak Prescott and save money. I don't want that. I don't like the Cowboys. I don't want to see them succeed. So, because their fan base is obnoxious when they don't succeed. Much less would it be, it's not going to get any less obnoxious if they do succeed. Also, even with all this talent, they have a hard-fought battle because two of the best teams in the NFC, the Super Bowl champions, as well as the best rookie quarterback we've seen ever, now going into his sophomore year with more help and more talent and more time in the NFL, are all in that division. So, and the Giants got better. I'm not saying that the Giants are going to be better than the Cowboys, but jockeying for fourth place in the division isn't a very fun place to be, and it's not going to lead you to the playoffs. So, this isn't really the move of the year. It's not going to save the Cowboys because it's pretty even on both sides. George Pickens is kind of like a third-round level wide receiver. And we kind of pick swapped for the other pick. So, very decent, average move. It fills a need for the Cowboys. Gets rid of a toxic locker room presence for the Steelers, which they don't like. They don't normally like having or they don't normally tolerate ridiculousness within their locker room, proven before, given they got rid of LeGarrette Blount, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Deontay Johnson, all this ridiculousness. They get rid of it quick. They like hard fighting players, people who are there to not crash out. We did still trade for DK, but DK's still slightly more level-headed than George Pickens, as well as a better wide receiver. And the thing is if Pickens stays and then he plays well, then we'll probably have to at least attempt to pay him. If not, we wouldn't be able to trade him as well. So, yeah. But anyways, moving on from that. Speaking of the Giants getting better, there's a lot of talks recently about the Giants and Abdul Carter, which is the main reason they got better was they had the third pick in the draft. They picked Abdul Carter. And then Abdul Carter, he sees Cam Ward, who was the first overall pick in the draft. Cam Ward got gifted. He got gifted, so basically without asking, or at least I don't remember him asking, he got gifted by Warren Moon from the Houston Oilers, so technically the Tennessee Titans from the past. He got gifted the number 1, which was retired by the Oilers for Warren Moon, which he used to wear. And then Warren Moon went to Cam Ward and was like, hey, I will let you wear number 1 for the Tennessee Titans because that's what you wore in Miami. And you were like, obviously pick 1-1, so it would make sense. And then that's kind of what he wanted to wear. But he was like, as far as I'm concerned, I do not think Cam Ward asked for it. But even if he did, that's a different situation than what had happened with what happened in the Abdul Carter situation, because Abdul Carter sees that and then proceeds to be like, hey, I'm an edge rusher, pass rusher. I'm on the Giants. I want to wear Lawrence Taylor's number, who was the best edge rusher, pass rusher of all time, not just for the Giants, but just of all time. Well, pretty consensus-wise. I mean, I haven't heard anybody who can commit a real argument to who's a better edge rusher, pass rusher, like play disruptor on defense really in general, especially not on the Giants. And then also Abdul Carter didn't wear 56. Like if Abdul Carter was wearing 56 at Penn State or has worn 56 his entire career, it'd be like, okay, he just wants to continue wearing 56. He did not. He wore number 11 in Penn State. I don't know what he wore in high school. Who cares? It's high school. And then you get to the Giants and you're like, oh, hey, Lawrence Taylor, can I wear your number? Also, in the same sense, Lawrence Taylor said no, rightfully so. Thank gosh. But in the same sense, Phil Simms, who wore number 11, who I believe his number is also retired for the Giants, was like, okay, you could wear my number, but Abdul Carter was like, no, I want 56. So it's not only disrespectful towards Lawrence Taylor, it's disrespectful towards Phil Simms, who offered his number to you, similar to the Warren Moon situation, when you don't even deserve it as much as Cam Ward, but similar to such situation, he offers to you, and you're like, no. I'm hoping he was courteous and was like, oh, hey, I really appreciate it, but no, thank you. I want to wear Lawrence Taylor's number because of the positional acquaintance. That makes sense. Like that part, I mean, I get aspiring to be like Lawrence Taylor. I do not get asking him bold-faced. And then also Nick Wright makes an interesting point as well. Normally when you come to a team and a certain player is wearing the number you want, you will ask them if you can buy it off of him. He did not even offer to buy it from Lawrence Taylor, so maybe he was just – because it seems just like – because he clearly seen the Cam Ward situation. Because this is an unprecedented situation. Well, actually, so apparently I thought it was an unprecedented situation, but right before I got on this podcast episode, I had learned of apparently Malik Neighbors, who showed up, and I guess his high school and college numbers were already taken on the Giants. Somebody was already wearing them. Oh, yeah, he was 8 on LSU, and obviously Daniel Jones until last year was wearing number 8. So then Malik Neighbors was like, oh, let me see what numbers they have, and went to their retired jersey numbers, and then seen number 1, who apparently, this was apparently the first ever retired number by any team in the NFL history. So obviously, clearly, not even NFL history. It's like prior to NFL history. So this is like legacy. Like this is not only Giants history, NFL history. Because Lawrence Taylor, greatest edge rusher NFL history. This guy, first ever jersey number retired NFL history. And then Malik Nabers apparently asked for it, and the family gave him the okay, and then the Giants gave him the okay. The Giants got to stop letting these players even think about asking for retired numbers. Unless, like, half the damn 1 through 100 is retired from the Giants, they got to stop letting these people ask. Like, we're at more number leniency than ever before. We are at more number leniency than ever before. Like, we got linebackers wearing number 0 now. You have so much more choices. Quit asking for, like, because I loved what Lawrence Taylor said to Abdul Carter. He said, no, make your own legacy. Basically, something along those lines. That's not a direct quote. But he was like, yes, make your own legacy, which is good. Yeah, guess what? You're not Lawrence Taylor. You're Abdul Carter. And if you're Abdul Carter and you think so highly of yourself, then don't go out there trying to wear somebody else's number. I don't like the situation. Like, it'd be different, like I said, if Lawrence Taylor came up to him and was like, hey, I like what you're doing. I think that you're going to be great for the Giants. Would you like to wear 56? And then he's like, oh, yeah. Like, because, right, then at that point, it's like, why would you reject it if literally the legendary person from your position was offering something to you like that? You don't reject it. But the thing is he went to him, he asked, and then Lawrence Taylor said no. And then, I don't know, I haven't seen any reaction from him. Hopefully it wasn't ridiculous. If so, then looks like the Giants drafted another bust. And I'm not afraid to say it. But yeah. So yeah, Giants and Cowboys will remain jockeying for 4th in that division and not non-playoff teams. Some other NFL news. Shadur Sanders, speaking of numbers, is going to wear number 12 instead of number 2, which he wore number 2 throughout all of his other, like Jackson State, Colorado, and I believe high school as well. I don't mind that. Like, if you want to change your number, I don't care. Like, I mean, you pick your own number. But apparently he did it because, like, Tom Brady was his mentor, and that's fine. Like, if you would have went to the Patriots and been like, can I wear 12, then that's a problem. But as far as I know, that number was not retired on the Browns. I'm sure not many numbers are retired on the Browns. Don't hate me for saying that. But, yeah, it's like, oh, hey, I like Tom Brady a lot. He's my idol, which you should be your idol if you're a quarterback. And, like, I want to wear number 12 on the Browns, which it's similar to 2 as well. So, like, that I don't hate. That I do not hate. But also speaking of Shadur Sanders, we got to break down this Browns quarterback room because he did finally get drafted in the 5th round by the Browns. After they selected Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round, after signing Joe Flacco in the offseason right before the draft, re-signing Joe Flacco in a way because they had him before he went to the Colts last year and did his whole thing, or wherever. I believe that's how that went. And then prior to that, they had traded. I don't remember exactly what they traded. It was like a mid-round pick for Kenny Pickett. And then this all comes after the craziest trade of all time they traded DTR to the Philadelphia Eagles for Kenny Pickett. Sorry, let's throw that in there. So that's how he ended up gone. And then I forget. Oh, yeah, then they let Jameis Winston go. Then he signed with the Giants because that's who was on there last year. And then this is all after the craziest move of all time. Well, it's looked at as one of the worst trades of all time. The Deshaun Watson trade. After multiple sexual assault allegations against Deshaun Watson, they went out, traded for him after he had not played for like a year. It's a bust. They paid him crazy amounts of guaranteed money. He continued to be a bust. He's now injury prone as well, so he's not the same player he was before. He has a negative connotation on him. And Now he's injury prone because he's injured and probably is not going to be ready for the season. So guess what? They'll probably cut him. So right, they have 5 quarterbacks. So probably go into the season with 3. No team really normally goes into the season with more than 3. I think they cut Deshaun Watson. And I think they'll keep Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco has a positive, kind of like a positive aura around himself in Cleveland because what he did 2 years ago, bringing them to the playoffs after Deshaun Watson got injured, and then he came in and then saved them, went on a crazy run at the end of the season. So, and also the 3 other quarterbacks they have are young, so they're going to need like a mentor, whether or not Joe Flacco is the starter. They would need like a mentor to like at least have like some veteran in the quarterback room. Joe Flacco's a Super Bowl winner, gotten his team to the playoffs recently. He's like the only quarterback other than Baker Mayfield to get this team to the playoffs within like the last, I don't know, since whenever the Browns were in the playoffs before that, which was a long time. So I think they keep Flacco. I think Deshaun Watson's gone. So you're probably going to keep 2 more and get rid of 1 more. And given they traded for Pickett, I don't really see them trading him again or releasing him. And I mean, he's a solid level. I mean, me personally, as a Steelers fan, I disagree with him being a solid level quarterback, but other people seem to disagree with me. So maybe they know more about quarterback than I do, but I think the Browns know less about quarterback than I do because it seems as such. But I think that the Browns will keep Flacco. I think they will keep Kenny Pickett, and I think they will keep Shedeur Sanders. And I think they will cut Deshaun Watson, and I think they will trade Dillon Gabriel. That's what I think. I don't know. So it depends. So if the owner has his say, that's how it goes. But if the GM and the coach have their say because they're more intelligent than the owner at football, because Kevin Stefanski kind of knows what he's doing as well as I believe Andrew Berry is their GM's name, something along those lines. If those 2 have it their way, which they know what they're doing, they will probably keep Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Dillon Gabriel. And Dillon Gabriel will eventually win that starting job. Dillon Gabriel is the best quarterback on this roster. I like Shedeur. I think Dillon Gabriel is a little bit better. I was really high on Dillon Gabriel. I knew a lot of teams kind of fell off of him. What he did with Oklahoma and what he did with Oregon were really good. A lot of people were super high on Shedeur, super surprised he went 5th round. I was surprised he went 5th round just because all we ever heard before that was like, oh, he's the worst he's going is pick 21 to the Steelers. So given like all these teams had 3, 4, 5 chances at him, like the Saints and the Giants and the Steelers and the Browns, right? They had all these multiple chances at Shedeur and did not pick him until eventually the Browns did. That was the surprising part because everybody was like, oh, yeah, this guy's going 1st round. This guy's going 1st round. And I don't know if I was more surprised at how everybody thought he was going 1st round or how everybody thought he was. Because as low as everybody was on the rest of these quarterbacks, I was like, there's no way. Because Shedeur, to me, was like not better than Kyle McCord, Will Howard, or Dillon Gabriel. He's better than Jackson Dart. The fact that Jackson Dart went number 2 is insane to me. I never heard about Tyler Shook or whatever his name is. I never heard about this man until like 2 weeks before the draft. I don't know if that's just me being a bad sports analyst. No, it's not. I'll be real with you. It's not. I don't know if anybody ever heard of Tyler Shook before the combine. So that's not anybody's like I believe Shedeur was better than him because I hadn't heard of that kid. Or I guess at all. He's like, I think he's older than me and he's getting drafted. Which I can't say that too much anymore. Because he was like they were saying making stories about he's like the last player possibly to get drafted that was born in the 90s, which is a crazy, crazy thing to think about. But trying trying to think of other quarterbacks here. Yeah, I don't know. I was relieved that the Steelers waited and then drafted quality key players to fill holes, and then drafted Will Howard instead of Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders was gone already, but I don't mind. I don't care. Like, the only player I would have rather had or argued with quarterback-wise, other than obviously Cam Ward, who was going number 1, was Kyle McCord. I've talked to a lot of my friends about it. Or actually Jalen Milroe. That's who I'm missing. Okay, I knew I was missing a key person. Yes, Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe, I really liked him because you could teach better throwing. You can't teach what that man has with running. I don't care what you say. You cannot teach what that man has with his running ability, like physical ability. You can't teach physically gifted. Like, you can't teach that, but you can teach. Hey, this is how you throw the ball better. This is how you throw it in better. Like, this is how you make better decisions as a quarterback. You can teach that. It's just game. It's just film. It's just learning. But so Jalen Milroe, Will Howard, and Kyle McCord. I was like, as long as the Steelers get one of these 3 individuals, I would be okay with it. I don't want anybody else. I don't care. Even if we pick up or don't pick up Aaron Rodgers, which I'm sick of hearing about. So that's where we'll leave that. I wanted one of those 3 quarterbacks. Honestly, if I did have my pick, I would have wanted Jalen Milroe just because I think he's so special. And, of course, competing with Lamar, not saying that Jalen Milroe yet is close to that or will be close to that necessarily, but I will say that he will be close to that. I do think so. But obviously he's not yet. But I believe Jalen Milroe has a very close potential or very high potential and can get to Lamar's level. Just because they're both such gifted runners, and then they'll be like, oh man, he's so good. Oh, the Seahawks stole him. Sam Darnold got signed for $33 million just to lose his job. I'll say it right now. Sam Darnold was not going to be the starting quarterback of that team by then. He just got done exactly to him what the last Vikings quarterback did, or got done to him. The last Vikings quarterback was Kirk Cousins. That's who I'm referring to. The last starting Vikings quarterback was Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins left, went to the Falcons for more than he's worth because he had a good season. He had good times with the Vikings. Got signed by the Falcons for more than he's worth, and then they drafted his replacement. I mean, for Kirk Cousins, it happened day 1, and it was like, hey, we're getting Michael Penix, 8th overall pick, so it was more like, oh, wow. They don't trust me enough. And he was also coming off of an injury because, of course, he's also better than Sam Darnold as well. But then you have, and there's also more money. So this is like a lesser version of what had happened to Kirk Cousins last year. You left the Vikings, went for a payday, got signed by a team for more than you're worth, and then got drafted. Then they drafted your replacement within the first 4 rounds, because I think Jalen Milroe went for the 4th round. So, yeah. But anyway, I don't know. So I think the Browns will keep, most likely, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and one of their rookie quarterbacks. And then they will either trade away, or if they're dumb enough, release either Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and or Shedeur Sanders. Like, one of those 3 will be gone, most likely. And who that is yet, I don't know. But my personal belief is that Dylan Gabriel is the best quarterback in that quarterback room, and he should and most likely will win that starting job, especially if the GM and coach are in control of who gets that, which I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, obviously the owner has some say, but I'm pretty sure the GM and coach kind of know what they're doing. But yes, so, and then Jim Harbaugh made headlines because he said that he woke up at 3 a.m. or something and was just thinking about how to make Justin Herbert a Hall of Famer. The best way to make Justin Herbert a Hall of Famer is to win. Odds are stacked against them. They are in literally the hardest division. Jim Harbaugh being in there and then debating on whether or not he's the best coach in that division already tells you enough, because that's 4 legendary Hall of Fame coaches in that division. depending on what Jim Harbaugh does this year, which normally year 2 of any organization like Stanford, Michigan, and San Francisco, year 2 is his pop. He has that sophomore pop, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, it's not really a sophomore. It's not his second year ever doing it, but like second year on the team. He has a second year boost normally. So I haven't done division rankings. I will next episode. Expect that next episode, which should be next week sometime. And I will do division rankings, but that division is going to be the hardest to pick because every team is like the Chiefs didn't really need to get better. They probably got slightly better. I'm assuming they did from the draft. They didn't really lose much, the Chiefs. But then the Chargers have Harbaugh in his second year, which is promising. Got better players. I wasn't the biggest fan of their running back pick in the first round, but then also the Raiders got a far better coach, far better quarterback. Top 6, I think, is when they picked Ginty. Like, wow. And then obviously got more as well. They also got, I think they're the ones who got Tyler Lockett, if I'm not mistaken. Or I might be wrong. Tyler Lockett went somewhere. I'll have to recheck that. But if they did, that's also even more. But either way. And then obviously the Broncos, they got better. Bo Nix is going to be in his sophomore year. And Sean Payton is also a great coach. So crazy work. That division is going to be so hard to pick. But yeah, I will be picking next year. But yeah, basically Jim Harbaugh, he's like, it's funny because he always does all these funny things, these ad-libby things. The best way for you to make Justin Herbert a Hall of Famer is to just win. Win a lot of games and win when it matters. Not throw 4 picks when it matters. And that's not on Jim Harbaugh, right? So his job is, right, to coach him, get him the players, right? Because he obviously has a clear pool or say in what players they get. I'm sure he has a huge part in the decision making on a personnel standpoint. So you get him the right players, you win them games, you get him to the playoffs, and then let him do the rest. And if he doesn't do the rest, that's on him. Don't lose sleep over that. You're already a Hall of Famer, Jim Harbaugh. Don't lose sleep over that. Let that go. So yeah, that's the best advice for him. But yeah, and then also speaking of Jim Harbaugh, his replacement Sherrone Moore, in some college football news in the middle of May, believe it or not related to the draft. Sherrone Moore got suspended 2 games, I believe. Just 2 games, nothing too crazy. But obviously in a 12-game college football year, that's a lot. But yes, so Sherrone Moore got suspended 2 games for the Connor Stallions. If you don't know, the sign stealing scandal from the Michigan Wolverines, scouting guy. He stole the signs from out of however many teams, right? So they're finally divvying out punishments for that. So good thing Jim Harbaugh got out beforehand. We'll see how effective that is. I don't know how great or good Michigan was supposed to or projected to be next year. I know they got the good quarterback, but I'm sure they'll do fine without the head coach for the first few games. I don't know who they play. I don't know who those games are. That's going to matter. Obviously, if they're good teams or rivalry games, or not really rivalry because most of the big rivalries happen end of the year, but Big Ten rivalry, pseudo rivalry games. Then that will be more important. So I'm not, but still, just the point is Sherrone Moore it's crazy how they're barely handling, the way that these, I forgot about the sign stealing scandal until I got the notification, Sherrone Moore suspended 2 games for the Stallions incident. And I'm like, what? Now? He wasn't even the head coach when it happened. It was Jim Harbaugh. Why is Sherrone Moore was the guy who came in to coach when Jim Harbaugh was suspended for it? Or I believe, or no, he was suspended for breaking NIL rules when NIL was already, or tampering. I don't know, whatever. It's whatever. Michigan will be fine. But yes, so that's really all the football talk I have. That's my take on the Browns quarterback situation, the Giants, Abdul Carter being ridiculous situation, the trade, the surprise or pseudo surprise trade from the uh, Steelers and Cowboys, and the jersey numbers. Yeah, Jim Harbaugh. Yep. So that's the biggest topics in football right now. Like I said, soon I will cook up my division playoff rankings post draft now. The schedule should be released soon. Even if not, I mean, I may wait till the schedule is released and then just decide from there. But actually, I'll do one probably this next episode and then again after the schedule release because I think the schedule release is May 17th. So I'll do one based off of just pure draft and off season, and then I'll do one based off of like, oh, hey, this is your schedule, and then I'll like do like closer to like win total kind of things. Maybe even talk about some betting win totals. But anyway, but yeah, more football news. I'm sure there'll be more stuff that happens before next week, and then we'll discuss that. If not, just the rankings. But yeah, so then other than that, though, the craziest thing going on right now really is the NBA playoffs, round 2. Currently, the Knicks and Celtics are playing. I actually have it on in the background. The Knicks and Celtics are playing. It's 50-41 right now. Boston, I believe it just went to halftime. Either that or it's somewhere in the second quarter. Or let me make sure. It just went to commercials, but I believe it was halftime. Yes, halftime. 50-41 Celtics currently at halftime. So I guess we'll start with that series. Knicks fought the Pistons hard to get here. Celtics didn't fight so hard to get here. I believe they gentlemen sweeped the Magic, which doesn't surprise us. The Celtics are the defending champs. They are an insanely well-ran team. They play well together. Super talented. Doesn't surprise us that they kind of rolled the Magic. The Magic did play them hard, though. They made them earn it. But it did end up being a gentleman's sweep. So, yeah. They came into this series more well-rested. Maybe that meant they were more rusty. Because I think part of it is, in the playoffs when you're in that rhythm of, yeah, we're ready to go bang and play hard and, score the game, score the ball. Because the Knicks just came from playing the Pistons. There's no way the Celtics are going to play them as aggressive. The Knicks are the aggressor in this series. We thought they were going to be the aggressor in the Pistons series. It was pretty even. Now they are. The more aggressive team by far to the Celtics. The Celtics are more like a tactical score on you, move the ball, really good team. So, but the Knicks came in game 1, right, and they stole the win in Boston. So they already came in and kind of did their due diligence. They did their job. Right, that's what everybody always says when you steal one in the away game. They did their job. But the thing is against the Celtics, that doesn't mean that much because the Celtics can win away. The Celtics can come into your house and win. I know that's hard in Madison Square Garden, but they can. They're just as good of a road team as they are a home team this year, so which isn't normally a thing, especially not in the playoffs, but it doesn't really matter. Obviously, they gentlemen sweep the Magic, so they won a couple in Orlando. I think they won one in Orlando, but either way. But yeah, so it's good for the Knicks, but it could be – so I think, right, if we get to a game 6 and the game 6 is in Madison Square Garden, right, and it's 3-2, most likely Boston would be up 3-2. The Knicks can make it 3-3 and make it anyone's series, which, you know what, I think that will happen. I think because I don't think Boston's going to win 3 – because if Boston wins 3 straight and it goes game 5 in Boston, they're gentlemen sweeping again, and the Knicks have no shot. But if the Knicks get one – because the Celtics, I'm assuming, will win this game because it's in Boston. There's no way they're losing both in Boston. And then I'm assuming they'll split in New York as well for 3 and 4. So they'll probably go 2-2 into Boston for the game 5. Boston will most likely win that. And then game 6, I would love to see a game 6. whether or not Boston or New York wins it, but I would just love to see a Game 6 in Madison Square Garden. All the stars out, all the New Yorkers in Boston, all the Celtics fans traveling, I don't know, down. Forgive me on my incorrect geography. I believe south, but all the stuff. Either way, all the fans. That would be such an electric event. A Game 6, Madison in the Garden. I guess they're both the Garden technically, but it's just, yeah. Hopefully, we get to that Game 6. But I think it will. I think the series will go 7. The Knicks. Everybody always talks about how the Knicks built themselves to beat the Celtics. I don't know if they're good enough to beat the Celtics, but they're definitely good enough to put up a fight. So I think it'll go to 7. If I had to call it early, I'm thinking Boston's going to win this. My pick right before the playoffs to win the whole thing, or at least win the East especially, was Boston. And it might be that way. I still think it's going to be that way. I got to say. We'll see, obviously, what happens come conference finals time. But, but in that first game, Mikal Bridges played like 53 because it went to overtime. So Mikal Bridges played like 53 minutes. And when he closed out the game, he had like 2 great defensive plays and in a shot to close out the game and clutched it. Oh man, because Jalen Brunson is supposed to be their Mr. Clutch in New York, and it was all Mikal Bridges. And that's the thing. The Knicks have, because the Knicks are just as talented really as Boston, or similar enough. So it's they have players who can take over just as well as Boston does. Because Mikal did, so he can. Jalen can. I think Jalen put them in the overtime, if I'm not mistaken. Cat can, if he really wants to. Josh Hart, kind of can. Their supporting cast is good as well, right? You got the Derek White and Peyton Pritchard on the Celtics. You got what do you call it? You have the campaign and there's a guy I'm missing I guess Josh Hart. You can throw Josh Hart into that category. And then, there's Drew Holiday. These teams are so, evenly matched. Yeah, it's probably definitely going to go 7. But I think a Game 7 for Boston in Boston, they'll probably take it away. But, yeah, just seeing what Mikal Bridges did, as many minutes as he played, he's, hasn't missed a game since high school. It's impressive work from that man to go into Boston and continue playing just at a super high level, which, given what they gave up to get Mikal Bridges, it seems to be beneficial enough. It's working out. So, great trade so far. We'll see if they can get them past Boston. But they're putting up a good fight here. They're only down by 9 at halftime, which we've seen in these playoffs. Doesn't really mean much. So, yeah. But other than that, the Celtics had 45 missed threes in the first game as well, which probably won't happen again in this series. Probably won't happen again ever in the playoffs. That has to be the first time it's ever happened in the playoffs. 45 missed threes is so many missed threes. Unless the Timberwolves did it, which could be possible. I don't know. They've done some sick work at the three-point line. But yeah, 45 missed threes from the Celtics won't happen again. So they will perform better, and they'll probably win in 7. The other East series is the Pacers, Cavs. The Pacers are up 2-0, mostly due to Halliburton, because Halliburton it's Halliburton on the Pacers side, injuries on the Cavs side. The Cavs, I texted my friend, we were both watching the game, and as soon as it ended, we both were like, oh my gosh, what just happened? Halliburton just won this game. It's crazy. Because if you didn't watch it last night, go watch the last scenario, the last 1 minute. The Cavs were up by 7 points with the last minute. Halliburton put them away, which he just did to the Bucks. He just put the Bucks away. And Halliburton is coming up. This playoff series is so good for his career resume. It's so good. So good. So Halliburton comes in, puts him away. Like, it's just I don't know how the Cavs did it. I don't know how they let that go. And then, like, to be up like that. So they were up so far. And then, so for the Cavs to let that game, like, to fumble that game away while being so close to winning with the 3 key injuries they had, because Garland was out, Mobley was out, and then DeAndre Hunter, I believe, was also out. DeAndre Hunter and Mobley got injured in the first game. The coach was complaining and moaning and complaining, to say it in the nicest way possible, about the lines of physicality were crossed, and like Evan Mobley just. I mean, people say it was like malicious for Miles Turner, but like Miles Turner like had his foot there. Evan Mobley came down on it. Like, if it was malicious, then like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Or why would you put your foot under somebody's foot so they can step on it and like twist their ankle? Yeah, and if so, then yeah, suspend Miles Turner. But clearly it wasn't enough to suspend Miles Turner, so clearly lines did not get crossed. And I mean, yeah, it just happens. People twist their ankles in basketball. It happens. Mobley, I'm assuming, will be back. I haven't heard anything, but I'm assuming he'll be back soon. DeAndre Hunter. Oh, he came in for like a dunk, and then his was a little aggressive. He came in for a dunk, got a hard block, and then fell like on his back. I don't know. I didn't know too much about that situation. But yeah, that sucks for them. And then Garland was injured previous to this game, so that had nothing to do with it. But yeah, that's bad. It was bad. Like, Garland is a key piece, and Mobley's such a key piece, and then Hunter is like a really good supporting player. And now you're down 2 games going into Indiana for the next 2. So the Cavs are on sweep alert. Call me crazy. The Cavs are on sweep alert. You should have won both these games, and you did it. You did it. Indiana bested you. I don't know. I think, what is his name? Rick Carlisle, I believe, is their coach. I don't even know who the Cavs coach is. I'm trying to think. I should know. I definitely should know, but I don't. That's my fault. But they're getting outcoached and outplayed. The sloppiness of the in-game situation that happened, it's not like Indiana just was like, they just went insane at the end of the game. The Cavs did. The Cavs fell apart all over the floor. And they let Indiana win. And now they're on sweep alert. Because Indiana's riding a high, you're injured, and Indiana has home court advantage. By far now. Because guess what? Like, Indiana's winning this series, whether or not it's a sweep or not. They're winning this series. They just showed they could beat you at home twice, and now they have 2 games in their home, and then another one after that in Game 6 if necessary, which it won't be. They're not getting to Game 6. They're either sweeping them or gentlemen sweeping them, which I told my friend kind of before going into this. I told one of my buddies, I was like, Indiana could win this. Like, I'm not super convinced the Cavs. And this is before I even knew Darius Garland was injured. Then I was like, Darius Garland's injured. If he doesn't come back soon, Indiana's definitely winning this. Then Game 2 comes, and it's like, Mobley and Hunter are injured. It's like, no. They're already down 1 game in the series. And then their second and third best players, Donovan Mitchell, are injured. And then one of their best supporting players is injured. They're done. They're done. I don't know if those players will be back next game, but I don't think it'll matter. And then, speaking of injuries, the Timberwolves and Warriors game 1 was last night. The Warriors won. Was it last night? I believe it was last night. The Warriors won. Either way, the Warriors won game 1. But Steph got injured. So I think he went out first half. But so he comes out, he's going crazy, scoring a lot, playing really good, and then he just ends up like landing wrong or like moving wrong, kind of pulling his hamstring somehow. Not really a contact injury, nothing too crazy. Like, it wasn't like the Rockets just beating up on him and then just something happened. It was just like a non-contact hamstring injury. But apparently he's out a week. But the Warriors still won by, I think it was around 10 points. Let me make sure. 11 points. So 11 points, Warriors won. And then without Steph, and not the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves put up a terrible performance. It was like in their last. They asked Anthony Edwards after the game and Julius Randle. They were like, "Hey, after the last or these last two performances, you guys are like 12 for 76 from the 3-point line." Like, and they laughed about it, which is crazy. And I mean, yeah, because it's laughable. It's disgusting. What are you doing? You like Anthony Edwards made threes in the season. Over this team, we used to be the 3-point team, right? It used to be like, oh, they're the ones who have to make 3-pointers. Now it's the Timberwolves have to make 3-pointers. And whether or not they had to, I'm sure if you lost by 11. So if you made 4 more of the 64 threes you missed, then you would have won this game. Like Anthony Edwards was like 0 from 10 at like halftime or something like that, or 0 for 8, or just in general. And they beat you without Steph. I mean, Steph was there for the first half, right, obviously. And then you game plan for Steph so that you do have to kind of change your game plan. But people are like, oh, well, they're cooked without Steph. The Warriors are done. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be hard fought, but this series will probably go 7 because Jimmy can carry a team without Steph. Because guess what? Jimmy didn't have Steph for his Miami Finals run. He didn't have anybody close to Steph. He didn't have anybody close to Draymond for his Miami Final run. I mean, yeah, he had Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, but guess what? Those are both Amazon Basics versions of Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Those aren't no name brand like Draymond Green and Steph Curry. Right? And you lose Steph, guess what? It's not going to matter. They still have shot makers. If Buddy Hield keeps playing like this, like he's been on fire lately, it's not going to matter. I mean, it's going to slightly matter that Steph's gone. But Jimmy Butler is just solidified number 1 player. He's just playing number 2 because he's on the team with Steph. Draymond will still carry your defense. Pods can make threes. Buddy Hield can make threes. Like, I don't know. Like, people are saying that the Warriors are done and there's no way they're going to win if Steph's out a week. Let's see how many games they have in that 1 week. So Steph Curry's out just directly 1 week from May 5th or from May 6th yesterday. So what was yesterday? Tuesday? So until next Tuesday. So they have the game tomorrow on the 8th, the game on the 10th, the game on the 12th, and then there's a game on the 14th, which he'll probably play. 2 of those are in Golden State, so I say they probably go in 2-2, if not 3-1 into that. And then if they're up 2-2 or 3-1 with Steph coming back, guess what? They win this series. I honestly thought Timberwolves had it locked before they even came into this. I was like, oh, wow, Warriors are kind of old. They just fought hard against the Rockets. Timberwolves wiped up the floor with the Lakers because the Lakers are bad. Hashtag Lakers in 5. Terrible. So, yeah, everybody, including me, pretty much, consensus was like, oh, yeah, Wolves got to have this on lock. Like, this is their series to lose. And unless I'm over-exaggerating about this first Game 1 loss without Steph for a half, it's not looking too hot. It's not looking anywhere. Nobody's nearly as confident as they were before this Game 1 now. Like, nobody's like, oh, now I'm more confident the Wolves are going to win. And plus, a lot of people were very upset about how lackadaisical shout out Shaq, lackadaisical. No, but nobody was more upset about the lackadaisical, or I think it was Zion that made that. I don't know. Somebody made some ridiculous lackadaisical quote, but that's not the point. But people were upset about how lackadaisical Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, these people were. Like, they were up there kind of very jovial, laughing, joking, kind of having fun still after just losing a game that they clearly should have won on their home court without the other team star player for a half. And I mean, I'm not really mad at it. I get it. I mean, you're going to lose games. You don't have to be a dickhead to the press if you lose games. But like, if they tell you that you went 12 for 76 from three as a team in the last two games, and you laugh, you're kind of in trouble. Like, oh yeah, it's so funny. Oh my God, it's so funny that you're terrible right now. You're playing. And he was like, oh yeah, sometimes you shoot the ball really good, sometimes you shoot the ball really bad. Yeah, guess what? In the NBA playoffs, those times when you shoot the ball really bad are when you get booted out of the playoffs. Because guess who's not going to be shooting really bad? Probably the Warriors. Even without Steph Curry there, they're probably not going to be shooting that bad. So I don't know what to tell you if you're taking this stat lightly. So I'm not super mad. I'm not as mad as some of the people, but like I'm worried. I'm more worried about that than mad. I'm like, ooh, because I mean I don't care if the Timberwolves lose. I don't care if the Warriors lose. I'm kind of impartial to the situation. I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be cool to see Ant get into the Western Conference Finals and win a ring or whatever, whatnot. It'd also be cool to see the Warriors do it again and Jimmy. So it's like I'm okay with either one of these teams winning, but it's like insane to me that the Wolves are taking this so lightly. Like, you are in trouble. And then the Thunder, I'm thinking they're in trouble too. All these top teams, or these higher seeded teams, are in trouble, except for maybe the Celtics. The Cavs are in deep trouble now. They're down to 2-0, no home court advantage, and they're injured. That's scary, which sucks for the Cavs because they were so good in the regular season. A lot of people's favorites going into the finals or going into the playoffs to win the East, maybe the whole thing. So that sucks for the Cavs. It really sucks. It's like they really just can't win a finals without LeBron. They may never. But yeah, I told my friend we were watching Game 7, the horrific Game 7 of the Clippers Nuggets, and we were watching it at my house on this couch. We were watching it. I'm like, yeah, I think whoever won this series was. I was under the impression whoever wins this series is going to knock out OKC in the next round. He, like many of you who probably hear this, was surprised. He was like, "Oh, really? You actually think that?" And I was like, "Yes." I was like, because the Clippers are good enough and experienced enough to beat OKC, and so are the Nuggets. And then the Nuggets showed me that they were clearly more up to the task of beating OKC than the Clippers were, and that's probably mostly in part because they have Jokic, and Jokic is just amazing. A lot of people counted out the Nuggets because they were like, "Oh, they just fired their coach before going into the playoffs." Oh my gosh, I think that also their GM, right, or something like that. But I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible." But when you kind of have experienced players and stuff like that, like everybody's hyping up, "Oh yeah, Jokic is the player's coach. He's coaching the team." Yeah, when you have experienced players, and as well as I believe this coach that came in as the interim coach was also on the team when they won the finals a couple years ago. I may be mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure he was on the team, on the coaching staff back then, as well as almost all these players were on that finals Nuggets roster. So like they've been here before. Obviously you need a coach to kind of get you in line, but they don't like need a coach as desperately as some of these other teams. And they showed that because they moved on to the next round with a coach, but without the coach that they fired just before they got in. So I think the Nuggets will beat the Thunder. I'll say it right now. I'm going Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, Pacers. Those are my 4 winners. You heard it here first. When that's the conference finals, don't get mad at me because I was right. Get mad at yourself because you were wrong. No, I'm kidding. But Oh, yes. Dang. I was on mute for the last few minutes. I appreciate the heads up in the comments. Yes, that was my mistake. I had some audio issues, and then I did go on mute while fixing the audio issues. But basically, after I came back from, or not, I had some video issues, and then I came back. But yes, so basically, while I was on mute, what I was discussing was the last playoff series. I talked about the other 3 round 2 playoff series, but I had not talked about the Nuggets Thunder yet. And with the Nuggets Thunder, I was saying that I believe the Nuggets will win this series overall because just Jokic is out here coaching the team. He's just got everybody, and then Aaron Gordon's on fire. The supporting players are on fire. Russell Westbrook's playing on fire right now. Aaron Gordon's out here shooting. If it's a game winner, he's going to make it. They went into Oklahoma City, stole home field advantage against the best team in the – like, Oklahoma City shows up for home court advantage too because it's like all Oklahoma City has professionally, sports-wise, is just the Thunder. So for that, like for them to steal it from them, and now because the Nuggets have a pretty good – I've been in the Nuggets Stadium in a playoff environment. I went to go watch a Suns-Nuggets game there, and it's – the Nuggets fans bring the heat too, especially when it's going to be like real, like now that they have some hope in this playoff series. But yeah, the Nuggets kind of just overall looked like the better team in that first game from what I had seen. And then they're just more experienced too. Like they've been here. They've been to the finals, most of them. So yeah, I believe and then I also gave my predictions game-wise, like game amounts and winners of each series. I have in the West, I have the Nuggets winning that series in 5. I have the Warriors winning their series in 6 games. And then in the East, I have the Cavs getting swept. I'm bold there, I know. But they're already down 2-0, going to Indiana for games 3 and 4. I got them getting swept. It might be game over for them. It might be wraps. That's what it's looking like. And then Boston, I have them winning in 7. Maybe I just want to see that. They might beat the Knicks in 5, but I'm giving the Knicks some benefit of the doubt, and I got them going 7. But yeah, so that's my overall round 2 playoff prediction. Obviously, the playoffs will continue to happen, and we will come back and discuss those on the pod within the following weeks. But yeah, so next episode, expect some more NBA playoff talk, some NFL rankings, and then given any crazy news happens within those worlds, I will talk about those as well. But yes, post-draft NFL rankings, more NBA playoffs, and just big news topics. But yes, so that is all I have for today. The Knicks Celtics is live right now. The Celtics are up by about 10 right now. Keeping the pressure, looking like they'll probably keep the pressure on this series. But yeah, so that's all I have for today. While I was on mute as well, I was also talking about we now have the new Instagram account and the new Twitter account, just straight up Green On Sports, or X account, my fault. Green On Sports, that is the new accounts. I just created them. I have the logo now as well. So if you want to interact with me on there about topics about the podcast, or just anything interesting you have to say, or just let me know if you enjoy the new logo, or just hit me up about sports takes as well, or comment, tag me in things on sports posts as well. That is the new that's the new X account and Instagram account. I will continue to currently post on the personal account when I will be going live, and updates as well. But the mission is to eventually get onto just the Green On Sports person, like podcast account. So go ahead and go give those a follow and all that, if you will, if you don't mind. And then so that is where the news will eventually start coming. Those will be updated with sports topics as well, sports posts, and I will be interacting on other sports posts about it. So Yeah. Anyways, thank you to anybody for the support. Thank you to the gentleman who joined in and commented, or the individuals. I don't know if you're a gentleman or not, but thank you to the individuals who joined in and commented, uh, helping me out. So yes, that is all for today, though, and please come back next week. Expect a live video next week as well. And yeah, anyways, love all y'all and bless up. Appreciate y'all. Good night.